For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a new review on a brand new tent from Zempire. So this here is the Zempire Evo TXL. So the Evo range is something that's new for 2020 and there's different model sizes. So there's a TM, a TL and a TXL, TXL being larger than one. We've also got separate videos for the TM and TL, so you can always check that out on our Attwoolls website page or our YouTube channel if need be. If you haven't heard of Zempire before, Zempire are a New Zealand brand, been around for a while now, and their kind of ethos behind the thing is that they don't apologise for being expensive, but they don't want to compromise on quality. So everything is done down to like the nth degree. The amount of spec that goes into one of these tents is quite astonishing, especially when you think about their topper ranges, so their Pro series or their TC series. You know, they're amazing in terms of what they do and the level, like I said, the level of detail they go down to in terms of features. So overall, this is kind of their entry level, which for most people could be top end or sort of, you know, towards top end range. So they run with a 150 denier fabric, really nice. And my dog, really nice fabric, and I think you'll agree, it looks sharp. The appearance, the way, the curves, it's certainly probably one of the best looking tents you'll see on the market, really. And very easy to put up. I myself pitched this model up in about 10 minutes, and you can check out our own Attwoolls Outdoors pitching and packing videos on the whole collection as well. So joys of actually, it's meant to be sort of a 9 berth. Really, I'd say it's more of a comfy 6. Really, you've got 3 beds at the back. There's an additional bedroom you can buy for the living area, and also then the canopy area at the front itself. So 3 zones. The door you see at the front is actually sort of an optional extra. So what you see now with kind of an open fronted canopy is the main tent itself. Then you can buy a door set. So a door set actually is a really reasonable price. You get a solid panel door with a nice big beautiful tinted window in there, a mesh door included, and then 2 poles. So the principle of it is you can choose to have the mesh door like we have here with the side entrances all rolled up completely, or you have the solid panel which runs on the same zip. Alternatively, you can use both in conjunction with each other. So you can have the mesh and then actually the main door over the top of it, clips over the top of it, or you can kind of what they call going out. It's a great like a sun canopy, 2 poles, and that whole kit comes in one little pack to just finish the tent off really nicely. Yeah, again, really strong, beefy webbing straps for the main front and back corners, and then you've got your luminous guy ropes to give you that extra bit of blend with the detailing in sort of the trim. Zempire, because they're a kind of New Zealand brand, they're more orientated for making sure that regardless of what the weather, because probably I'd say New Zealand have a slightly bit more of a extreme weather we do in the UK, you're going to feel comfortable inside the tent. So ventilation throughout the whole tent is very key, and you can see that necessarily with the low level ventilation here. So every single window panel has mesh, but the more important thing is you've got obviously curtain panels on the inside to get the privacy or to stop that breathability as and when you want to. But generally this is probably one of the coolest polyester tents pretty much on the market. So with certainly the summers we've been having in the past couple of years, that fluctuation between lots of heat and lots of rain, this kind of suits our market a lot better, and it's kind of the way our climates tend to be changing. Overall, what you can look at is a 6,000mm hydrostatic head. So again, that's Zempire's entry level into the market. But then you've got a 3-year warranty on everything as well. So that's their starting point. Beautiful tinted windows, I mean, obviously get you great sort of privacy, but also allow plenty of light in. So regardless of what the weather's doing, you can still have the ultimate of vision as well as, you know, comfort. You've got 2 mesh doors in the side, and again, even low level ventilation beneath the windows, which pull out and look quite smart. But generally, I think, yeah, it's an impressive looking model, and I think it's something that will stand out on the campsite. And I think I've also had a lot of comments recently about it, but we'll look more about the features that it has on the inside. So let's see what it has to offer. So now we're inside the Evo TXL, you can kind of get a bit more of an idea for certainly the size you've got in here, but also, like I said, those 3 zones I was talking about on the outside. So you've got the canopy area, which I've actually now removed the sort of mesh front door, if you will, the main living area, and also the sleeping area right at the back. Okay, hang on a second. Here you go. So the canopy area as such is actually quite a nice depth. You can probably put sort of a cooking unit or something like that, more importantly, in there, and so where you can actually enclose off the middle section to allow obviously well vented, as this tent very much is. Now, throughout a tent, it's probably, like I said, on the outside, it's probably one of the most well vented tents on the market, which is perfect sort of the way the UK weather is, or the changing climate you might have on the campsite, because it can have 4 seasons in one day sometimes. So not only have you got a lovely sort of tinted windows, which really are quite tinted, but you've got the mesh running along the bottom, and again you've got zip up ability to sort of open and close it as you need to. And every single panel, like we saw on the outside, has it, not only in sort of the window part itself, but the lower level as well. Generally, even though you've got so much sort of spec and detail in this model, in terms of price point, it's still a very good value. Unlike, you know, it's not what, when you say, I've said normally Zempires tend to be, you know, expensive, and they don't apologise for it. With this model, it's one of the first ones they've made actually that, in terms of the price point, is actually very keen. If you compare it to other models in the market, you know, like your Vangos or your Campers or your Outwows, generally I think it ticks an awful lot of box, and you've got that spec built into it. Joys of also what this does as well, it's actually lighter than your conventional tent as well, because they've sort of stripped back certain ways and redesigned how the beams fit a little bit to give yourself less material, means a smaller pack weight. So overall it's about 30 kilograms, just over, about 31.5. So it means that you have a smaller pack size, makes it easier to put in the car, easier to transport from one point to another, and that's a really good sort of you know, point of the tent. You've got Zempire, I've got these 360 doors, so it gives you the ability and versatility to do what you want with it. Either have it as sort of as a mesh, fully closed, or fully mesh, or as you want. And then all it is just an internal point in, so you can seal it off when you want to, nice and easy. Alternative, what you can do as well is actually zip the whole panel back, and rather than having to sort of fold it and roll it and use a retainer, it's a big sort of dump pocket. You can just sort of gather it up, stuff it in there, and it's out the way. And yet again, it allows sort of a really nice flow all the way through the model itself. This actually tent's actually meant to be sort of a 9-berth. Personally, I said it's more of a comfy 6 with the ability to sleep them all at the back. So you've got sort of a 2, and meant to be a 3. Personally, I see it more as a 2, and then a really nice sized 2-berth in the middle. Take a big massive king bed, and that's going to be kind of the, you know, the parents' bedroom with the kids either side if you wanted to. Overall, the sort of unique styling of sort of the roof helps to give plenty of height inside, but also in the corners a little bit more uprightness, and then into the corner itself, so not like a gradual slope all the way around. So mesh doors either side, you've got 2 doors either side, which actually again help with that circulation, but there's an extra bed you can buy for the living area to go in here to accommodate extra 2 people, so that is an optional extra, and most people will sort of do that as and when they need to. One of Zempire's sort of not only unique features as well as the 360 door is their clip-in carpets. So it's a massive bugbear, and we get asked that an awful lot, why don't they make sort of carpets that clip in, but Zempire do. So basically, they admittedly, the first time you put it in, the clips can be a little bit of a hassle to find because they're underneath the beams, but once it's in, you know, it's brilliant. It's got sort of nice strong webbing strap which is elasticated to stop it sort of you know, taking that bit of torsion, but helps to make it look completely flat and almost you know, crinkle free, which means that again it feels like part of the ground sheet rather than an extra which slides around like a, well, a slip and slide really. Into the back section we've got, like I said, the bedroom area, so we've got a 130 and a nice glorious 180. A slightly deeper depth than your standard width as well, depth, so you've got it's a 225 depth, so you should be able to get high-rise air beds just about in there, depending on how big they are, or a camp bed. There's a lot of play in the back part of the fabric. You might be able to see on the back side is a massive big ventilation with mesh as well. So the joys of that is you've got that, I said, that those sequences of how much ventilation you need. So on a warm day like it is today, have that fully open, creates a good circulation throughout there, but you also got the bugs, some stuff from getting in. You've got you can actually zip it off completely or have it out like almost like a wing, so it comes out and then part, so you get ventilation without having so much sort of wind and rain coming in as well. You've got storage pockets throughout the tent, so you've got not only in the front compartment, but the master bedroom, as I'm going to call it, has the same pockets on reverse as well, so you can actually organise things on the inside of the inner tent. The zip dividers, so if you got ultimate privacy but flexibility, you can roll it back and have it as one big open bedroom. And yet again, you've got things like little cable entry points and a little clip up the top of here, like a little clip, so you can actually hang a lantern in there as and when you want to as well. So again, they do think of it an awful lot, and then every section has got its own cable entry point for a hanging point for a lantern. You've got a nice big mesh panel yet again in the bedroom in there to help with circulation and help also fight condensation. But this is going to be one of the coolest polyester tents on the market because of the sheer amount of vents you've got in here. You've got yet again a point for hanging points for lanterns. So it's a Velcro tab. It's pre-stitched in, quite clever, and you just sort of create a loop and it'll Velcro to itself, and you've got them located all the way along the beams, across on also both sections. Doesn't matter which way the cable entry point's coming in. You've got a cable entry point down the bottom here, so you can have mains hookup in place without having to have to leave the door open every single time. And finally, storage pockets inside the bedroom area down here. So, but I think overall it's going to be a model that we'll certainly have on display for the 2020 season, and one model that also, like I said before, you've got 7 different sizes of it, so you can go for the TXL, which we're in here, the TL, which I see more as a 5 berth, and then the TM, which is more a 4 berth. But check out our own individual videos on those products as well. But I think overall, as far as it goes, it's a really good addition to Tent, and certainly if you've not heard of Zempire before, it's certainly a name that I think will be lurking around for a few years to come. So that's kind of our Attwoolls Outdoors review on a Evo range Zempire TXL.